Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org. Coming to you this Monday morning, March 31st. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and the NQ. So I'm going to do something a little different. But first off, it is the last day of the quarter. It's been a poor quarter. And right now, it could be even poorer by the end of today's trading day. I'm going to show you something just to explain something. Because there's still a lot of misconception on who's buying the market, who's selling the market. Is it long-term money? Short-term money, and it's important to know that because if it's short-term money, which it is, they're very fickle with no loyalty and they'll change on a dime. So a beautiful example of that is this. A week ago today, we had a large gap high in both ES and NQ, weekly and a daily gap. Went a little higher on Tuesday, and then we spent Wednesday, Thursday, Friday taking it all back. Now this morning, we're doing the opposite. We're looking to gap lower on not only a daily, but a weekly, possibly. Long-term money will never do that, okay? You have to understand that, all right? If the long-term money is herd mentality. So if for some reason the herd decided last Monday that this market needed to be bought, they would not let it come in the way it did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or this morning. There's just too much ammo behind the long-term herd. It is so important to understand that. Now, that's different from, say, today, the market's down a lot, and all of a sudden we start getting a wide point of control with tremendous volume maybe being done at a certain level. That could be long-term money coming in to buy it, but they're not going to sit there on a day like today and absorb it at one price. They'll buy whatever they want at a certain level, and then they will drop a bid. That's a huge difference between that type of trading and last Monday when they just all trampled in to buy it, if it was long-term money. You have to understand the distinction between that. That is not happening. This is short-term, mindless machines, uneducated traders, erratic traders, whatever you want to call them. That's just whipsawing this market around on every word from inflation to tariffs to Ukraine, you name it. And guess what? That all means nothing. It all means nothing. Because remember, we've done nothing but hit all-time highs during wars in Ukraine, what's going on in the Middle East, high inflation, you name it. So please understand that. So again, for my money's worth, unless long-term money comes into this, and we talked about that, and we'll show it again on the chart in a minute. We'll see. We have failed at the 200-day moving average again. At some point, if we make new lows today on the year, one day doesn't make a market, but at some point, long-term money may say we have good profits in 23 and 9 months in 2024. I want out. That's what you have to keep an eye on. As far as today's trading goes, well, here's your weekly low from last week. It's Friday's low. So the weekly gap and the daily gap are the same price today. It wasn't last week, but it is a weekly gap. Okay? NQ had their yearly low so far was in the overnight. Well, look at their overnight low now. It's lower. So I could even take this one out. If we don't get the overnight low today, this would be your overnight low. Okay? So that's officially, this one's gone. This is your yearly low right now. ES, yearly low is down at 09 and a quarter. Then we have the single prints from September 11th. Okay? So what is the game plan for this morning? Well, again, gap and go crowd will go nuts. If it's going to truly be a gap and go crowd, you'll have multiple opportunities to short this. Remember, look how accommodating Friday was. And we didn't even gap lower. So if we gap lower and the gap holds, you're going to have even more accommodating trade to at least start the day. So you do not have to jump in at 9:30. The overnight is totally short, 100% short. So you could get an inventory adjustment. You have just one thing out, more garbage at 9:45, Chicago PMI. So game plan for this morning. Again, you're going to be starting with gap, value, and indices in favor of the bears. Well, for me, that means I'm looking for a short. question will be where. Am I going to short it right away? No. No, of course not. We're going to have all day to trade. So I'll look for a better trade location. Again, if you're in this trading room, you'll start finding out at 9:15 as we get closer to the opening how the game plan will evolve as we start the day. Okay? But it's so important, I hope you understand that, about who we're trading against. And then chart-wise, let's just break down ES real quick. Well, the monthly's down, we know that. And right now they look like they're going to plan on trying to finish it at the lows or close to the lows. Okay? The weekly, don't forget, we had outside weeks down last week. That's bearish. Well, for now, the bears are following through on it. We look to break out of a 3-week balance, right? Right now, SPY is trading at 550, just about. Well, the 3-week balance is 549.68. So unless we take that out, we're still in balance, even with the gap. Okay? So let's see if they break out of balance to the downside. And the daily is down. It's been down now from the last 2 days, and it's going to continue at least to start today. Good luck trading today. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.